And so we return to the Sept of the Hearth's Fire in Duluth, Minnesota, where Charlotte is finally taken a walk she's not looking forward to necessarily, but nonetheless a walk that needs to happen. Um, Being aware that Damon is no longer rooming with the Den Mother, no longer staying at her place, it's finally about time that she can actually drop by and actually talk to Lena. She has avoided the cabin politely, as she's been told, for the most part. And yeah, at this point, it's safe to make a little visit, have a little talky talk. So again, as usual, hands kind of shoved in her pockets. She's just kind of trolling along, not moving especially fast. She's not exactly like walking with a dedicated purpose. She's just puttering that way, keeping an eye out, keeping an ear out, just walking.
I'm assuming you knock on the door.
Yep, she'll trot up the porch steps if there is a porch, and yeah, tap her fingers or tap her knuckles to the door a couple times.
This woman answers.
Oh, hey.
Gives an eyebrow raise.
Should I come back later?
Who are you looking for?
Lena?
Steps to the side.
Oh. Thank you.
Just like jet black hair, but there's strands. You see the strands of grey in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just give a polite little nod and step inside.
She just kind of walk into the kitchen, essentially. Yeah, I'm assuming you follow or something.
Yeah, I get the impression this is the cue of we're walking, so yeah, she'll fall into step behind her.
She'll turn. Would you like a drink?
I guess if it's no trouble.
Something strong or tea, coffee?
You know what? Fuck it. Something strong, if that's okay. Kind of quirks a glance up. It seems weird asking someone old enough to be her mom.
Oh yeah, you definitely get the mom vibe off her. Definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Depends on how strong you're wanting to get.
Just bracing.
She nod, almost as if I understand. You know what I mean? We'll open a drawer, take out a decent sized glass and pour clear liquid in and just kind of slide it over to you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, she'll snag it. And she is not, at least lately, much of that crazy party girl anymore. She'll like pick it up, like, and it's not like she sticks her nose in the glass. It's just like catches a whiff before she goes to take a sip of it, just to see what she's getting herself into.
Very fine vodka. Very, very fine.
So like there's almost no smell at all.
Yeah. None of that cheap store shit. This is fine vodka.
Yeah, she actually goes to do the little, sneak a whiff and kind of pauses and pulls back a second, looking at it in confusion when she doesn't catch like anything. Like there's a little bit of that kind of alcohol fume, but that's even that with really good vodka, there's not much smell.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know.
Yeah, she'll kind of shrug and take a sip and just be like, "Oh,
very rich vodka."
Wow. So
look
more
over.
Seriously now, thank you.
That is Snow Queen.
This is no joke.
No, it's not. She'll give a very, smile.
She's just kind of looking down at the glass, kind of amused, like, holy shit, this is... Like, she's sitting here factoring in her head, like, this is probably better than the most expensive vodka I've ever had in my life. Holy fuck.
It's vodka from where and I are from.
Wow. Well, it's, this is probably the best vodka I've ever actually gotten my hands on.
Just a smirk on her face.
It's just kind of the helpless shrug, like, I don't see any shame in saying what's true, and she sips again lightly, kind of finally flicking a glance around the kitchen because let's face it, she's been in Lena's home before, but she's never really just hung around, especially not downstairs. It's usually been like just the straight run up to Felix's room.
It's, very homey, very. The way I want to say it is very European, if you can get the vibe. If you've ever seen pictures of those Russian houses, the way they're kind of. It's wide, but yet boxed in at the same time. You get this very old-timey feel from it.
And I imagine, like, between that and, like, cultural prints and whatnot, it's...
Yeah.
It's got a very distinct... This house is fucking put together.
It's got a very distinct Baltic vibe. If you're kind of familiar with that type of style.
Yeah. No, she actually takes a second to just sip this vodka and appreciate, this is a fucking put together kitchen. Holy shit. Like, yeah, because I know their cabin isn't nearly so well put together. No one's put in the time and the effort. So, no, she's just appreciating that, she's standing in a nice finished home and a nice finished kitchen.
You just see a few pictures as well, probably on like the fridge or like hanging. You see what looks to be Lena, except shorter. Shorter hair, much shorter hair, and blonde. With this big, huge Arun. Well, you can just tell that's an Arun. No way is that anything else.
There's no way that is anything but an Arun.
Yeah, this big, huge Arun with a big, thick, dark hair, much like the woman's, and a big, thick beard. They're standing over a pair of bikes, like laughing, essentially.
And I assume that this woman has the appropriate pure breed and that overall family look.
Oh, she doesn't have nowhere near the same kind of sour glare as June does. Hers is a lot more sadder looking, actually.
And yeah, she takes a second, just kind of appreciates the kitchen, then appreciates that she has been quiet and kind of weird for a second, turns a glance aside, offering a hand. So I guess you're a family member? I'm Charlotte.
She'll extend her hand and shake yours, and she catches you by the wrist. You know what I mean?
Oh, that kind of handshake.
Samantha. I am... Lena is my sister-in-law. Yes, sister-in-law.
Oh. Trying to think. I don't think Juno's ever mentioned her mother by name. Just mentioned her mom, and Felix has mentioned their mom. I don't think they've ever called her by name. So
nope, just mom.
Then I guess first meeting. Do you want me to run through the whole thing, or?
No, I know who you are.
She quirks kind of the awkward grin because, again, this is someone easily as old as her mom. So it's a weird kind of interaction. Most of the people she talks to are like her age, or even Lena is only so much older. Hope it was good.
Yeah, she looks early 40s, that type of thing.
Yeah, she just kind of shrugs. Hope whatever you heard was good.
Not too bad. I've heard much worse things about pretty girls with blonde hair.
There's kind of that sonata of like, yeah, I can see that. Fair.
She just smiled. Gives us as much as the sad look is in her face, especially her eyes. She just gives a very motherly smile to you. Well, I should not keep you. Lena is in the living room, in the conservatory. Just walk through.
Oh, so this way? Kind of points?
Mm-hmm. She'll just nod and smile.
Okay. Thanks again for this. Kind of lifts the glass a little bit, gives it a wiggle, but goes to take it with her.
Try not to drink too much.
Ew, no. Kind of looks down at the glass, like that look of like, don't you betray me. But for what it's worth, she's been taking very moderate sips. Nope, I gotcha.
And you know Samantha kind of gathers up while essentially is washing. Seems to head outside.
Oh, okay. Yeah, lets her go.
And you You walk through the living room and you see this kind of conservatory, which is again like it's like a sidelong attached to the house. It's kind of out in the open, really. You see Lena sitting there at the table. You see the waft of cigarette smoke. Her back's to you, essentially. She's just looking out.
And yeah, if there is a door between them, she'll, go to open it and poke her head through first. Knock,
No,
knock.
kind of like a walk-in. So there's no door. You
Oh,
just
okay.
walk through it.
Then yeah, she just kind of pauses in the doorway for a second, takes another sip, and goes, knock, knock.
She'll like, look over.
Hey.
Hello.
How you holding up?
Fine.
And she'll putter in since there doesn't seem to be any protest to her existence. Gotta go to sit at another, side of the table.
Yeah, Hannah's. She looks much like the picture. The kind of like hoodie, tracksuit, long shirt, kind of tracksuity type thing.
That
Hair's
at home relaxed look.
Yeah, pretty much. You do see she's steadily making her way through though those packing of Newports.
Yeah, she goes to kind of find a spot and plunk down. Though conversationally, as she does so, line as bad as I do when I say yeah.
No, just it's quiet.
Peony in the poop out of you.
She gonna roll my nips up the poop out of you.
Better yet, fuck halfway. Fuck half measures. What is Hermanip sub?
Difficulty's 8.
Ugh. Jesus.
Shiragi.
Yeah, she is. Intelligence, empathy. Whew. At least it's a decent poll.
It's pure breed. You roll your truth, guy.
Yep, doing. At that point, she doesn't need to roll against it. It's just me rolling against her.
I know.
Base
I'm just
pool.
rolling to see how convincing the lie is.
All right. 60, 10. Diff is 8. Ooh, she got a ding.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Yeah. No, but the ding is where you imagine it would be.
Yeah. I mean, she won't comment. Of course, you can primal urge it if you want.
She doesn't bother.
Yeah. But she still plunks herself down. Well, if it's finally quiet, do you want to save this for later, or?
Save what?
You said we needed to talk. Figured it's something you'd want to get out of the way.
Oh, I see. Leans back in the chair. I didn't realize you wanted to do it now.
I don't really, but it's gonna have to happen sooner or later, and you don't need to put on the big, then mama face or anything. I'll take you seriously. I just figured better now if he's kind of out in the wind at this point. She flicks a glance in the direction of the public housing. And that way, if anyone asks, you can say you told me.
The den father said it would be a good idea for him to start mingling. I thought he should stay an extra 2 or 3 days, but he trusts Cora more than I give her credit.
I can hope. Has he slept at all, really?
She'd look at you. She kind of flicks her hands, like, does the one of her hands kind of goes up and down like she's playing on a string.
What?
That kind of... you
know
what I mean?
The wibble wobble?
Yeah.
She ruffles her hair as she asks, but shrugs.
It's not uncommon for Guru to have bad dreams.
No, but he had problems with nightmares before.
I imagine that's what... Imagine the first change in the horrific nature of it. I imagine it's going to perforate for a while.
I was kind of hoping if it was related to that, maybe with some time it would clear up,
The urges are a curious thing. Who knows what they really see and hear?
Yeah. She kind of rubs at the back of her head again. And again, it's not with any kind of purpose. It's just an idle glance in the direction of where, I mean, they both know he is. You could I think he might have kept a journal before.
Mm-hmm.
If it helps with teaching, I did keep track of his shit.
He seems to retain it very well.
Fair enough.
It's not like he's all better, but he understands. He's not like you or some of the others. He is a kinfolk. They tend to adapt quicker.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I think he's weak or anything. It's just kind of the extenuating circumstances of it.
There's only so much effort I can put in. He has to learn to stand on his own 2 feet, too.
I know. I mean, I don't like it, but I know.
Mm-hmm. Besides, one of the other cubs is there. Generally, cubs learn from each other. More so than even them parents can teach.
And that she will give, a nod of easy agreement. Not wrong.
So, we shall see.
Suppose I should keep kind of playing the restraining order game, right?
For now, yes.
Yeah.
The first couple of weeks will be especially difficult.
The first what?
Couple of weeks.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, I gotcha.
Members of your pack can meet with him. I'm not going to deny that. But I don't want you to use that as an excuse.
She kind of idly shakes her head. Nah, it's not like I'd send Juno over, and Brad already talks to Cora pretty often, so if there's something I especially want him to have, I'll send it that way, but I'm not going to do anything crazy.
I know. That's what you tell yourself.
Kind of quirks her brow. Like, shoots that little side glance.
It's easy to say you're not going to do a thing, but when you look at each other, those old feelings do dredge up, and that is where you have to remain vigilant.
Yeah, I know.
So, for now, I'm going to say for you to stay away for a while and let him grieve just as much as you have to grieve for the loss you've both suffered.
And yeah, she's just kind of idly tipping the glass this way, that way, nodding.
You can try and talk to the Den Father about it. He would advise a more cautious approach, but I would rather lance the poison.
I mean, I want to see him, but if you think this is the best way to do it,
It would be very
No.
unfair on a fresh guru having to deal with the emotional trauma of the situation. It would probably incite a frenzy.
it hasn't been that long.
Now, some of my contemporaries would say that he needs to learn from that. We must learn the masters of our rage. However, I do believe in giving him a chance to learn first before we throw him in the fire.
It's only kind of fair to let him find his feet, right?
Before I start testing him, yes.
Just a nod. Makes sense.
I take it I don't have to remind you of the gravity if you do go see him.
By the time you say it's cool to go see him, I won't go by myself. So she shrugs. I don't want to get into that. Just we've seen each other every day for a long time now, so
But now it's different.
I know.
And I don't need to remind you of what hospice you are.
Nope. Nope. It's been reminded a good number of times, actually.
Sure, good.
Been saying it the whole time.
I mean, are they wrong?
She just looks kind of vaguely annoyed at the glass.
Are they wrong?
I kind of worried that something like this might happen anyways, so
So if Damon was to rush up to you, you wouldn't,
I
you
would
know.
hug him and I would hold him and I would tell him it would be okay. I know the rules.
You know the
Besides,
rules, but
I also know what happens if anyone sees anything like that, and I know it gets everywhere, and suddenly I'm on the chopping block. I care about him, and I miss him. I miss him a lot, but that wouldn't be fair to him, and I can't. Besides, kind of tips the glass again. Still looking down at the glass, not at Lena. Besides, if we're only seeing each other when there are other people around, only seeing each other in public, nothing really hinky can happen, can it? Not unless you
no.
want the world to see.
Doesn't mean though that there won't be caution.
Nope.
Well, I'm glad to see you have a sensible head on your shoulders.
I had a lot of time to worry about it before. Just kind of hoped it wouldn't happen.
Like I said, glad to see you have a sensible head on your shoulders.
She finally kind of nudges the glass an inch or two away from her, looking up. I mean, if you want to be brutally honest, if I'd been sensible, I would have told someone shit was about to happen.
Yes, there is that criticism. However, in the light of things, nobody is dead. Nothing exactly happened.
Nope.
I'm not going to persecute you for wanting to spend time. He has changed, and it was a safe change. He's still alive. So let's count our blessings where we find them.
Another faint nod.
Unless you'd, of course, rather persecute yourself.
I mean, it's an easy default, but no, not really. I just figured it's easier if I said it first. Kind of shrugs.
Sometimes it's much more hard to say the simplest things about the person you love.
Yeah.
Besides, I'm sure you will manage somehow. You seem to have a lot of people who care about you.
Yeah. We'll manage. She kind of flicks a glance up at that just to kind of weigh it, see if there's any particular tone to it.
No, just it's quite honest. You know what I mean?
Okay. It's more her kind of glancing up to see if that's a hint at the whole thing with Felix or not.
No, it's just like I mean, Ben has probably seen Urea with Juno, with all the do you know what I mean?
Yeah, she's been talking to a lot of people since, to be fair.
Yeah. Then Leno will light another cigarette and look up at you.
Flick a glance
Besides,
up.
my nephew seems to have taken a shine to you.
This is about where the face gets like just a little awkward. Like, yeah. Yeah, it's been looking out for me.
He does get attached to people. People he thinks are like him.
Kind of quirks her brow on that. Looking up, like it's not even like the brow quirk. It's like she actually kind of flicks up a searching glance.
I don't mean it in a bad way.
No, but like, what do you mean like him?
Just wants to help people. He may be involved in the more nastier elements of life in some cases, but he tries his damnedest for the people that he thinks matter.
Well, I believe it. Just
By the looks of things, you're one of them.
there's finally the tiniest quirk at the corner of her lips, just for a second. Yeah, seems like.
Just be careful.
I don't think I've ever been more careful in my life.
It's the standard family warning.
Oh, family warning. Quirks a glance
Well,
up.
mine. I don't know if my niece has spoken to you about it, but just be careful with him. Whatever you're doing.
I mean, not a word, but considering this all started off with me finding out he was staying in the city on his own and not letting him keep it up, I don't know how much more careful I can be.
That has been handled.
Yeah. And I'm glad. I'd rather him be somewhere safe. Kind of the whole point.
Felix has always been stubborn, like his father.
Yeah?
Yes, my brother was quite a stubborn man.
There's like some mental arithmetic taking place.
They both have that same smile, though, which is probably why the women always chase him. And why the likes of me and his mother, and I imagine you, get frustrated with him.
Not because of a smile.
Because no matter how much bad he does, he'll give you a smile and you'll end up smiling back.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair assessment. That's a pretty contagious smile.
Just be careful whatever you're doing. You're an adult, I don't need to tell you otherwise.
Being careful. Keep worrying about Damon.
Mm.
And I kind of got, well, very Fiona feedback on it. But
I imagine
still
so.
worry about Damon.
I imagine so. Knowing your friends.
It's a bit of a grin.
But are they wrong?
No, she wasn't wrong. Just it's one hell of a turnaround. And I don't want Damon to feel forgotten. I mean, he's going to hear sooner or later, but I don't want him to think he didn't matter. I don't want him to get the wrong idea.
Well, that is for you to decide.
So,
Unfortunately, I just raised the cubs, not deal with the emotional drama of your young relationships.
oh, downside of graduating, I guess.
Yes.
Can't make you deal with all my problems anymore. Finally sits back a little bit.
It's you being a foster and I really cannot deal with most of your problems.
Fair enough. So then, can I just ask you outright? Because everyone keeps telling me I need to be strong and set an example. What do they mean? Like, what? Like, I know how to fucking behave. That's not the problem. But what kind of example do you think he needs?
Someone who does her duty. Someone who, despite the pain, knows what the litany states. Someone who carries on that tradition. But is not sympathetic to his pain, but still will not compromise it based off a selfish need. Gaia chose both of you. However much painful that process is there, but you both have a role to play.
Okay. I was kind of worried there was some kind of weird, deeper meaning than that, or I don't know.
Sometimes it's quite simple. Sometimes simplicity is often far more deeper than trying to be convoluted and Shakespearean.
Well, yeah. And sometimes you just kind of keep digging because it itches, and the next thing you know, you've got a hole in your arm. Kind of shrugs.
Or that.
Right. So, seriously though, at the risk of saying, let's talk about you, are you really okay?
What do you mean?
Oh, well, a lot of shit has happened lately. I'm not going to go down a bulleted list because that would be really rude. And more than one of those things affect you.
You mean rides?
Yeah. And
He died an honorable death.
yeah,
Being the big idiot that he was. Say fondly.
yeah, there's kind of a wry little smile down at the glass. Yeah.
Save the world.
Sorry, what exactly was the line? Because I feel like I lost half of it.
Coming in like he could save the world.
Ah, there you go. I mean, it's it's not as though it was a wasted gesture.
No. After all, he saved it. Right? Convincingly. I know my alpha blames himself for having rides charge in to rescue me.
At this point, I have the funny feeling that anyone who's ever leading feels guilty about everyone that they send to do what they do best, even if they're, yeah, especially when it's easy.
Julian always does look for ways to blame himself. Smile. Softly.
He is bad at it as I am.
Not as blubbery.
Bet not. Got that shit on lock.
Although I was not ready to see Rides the Lightning leave this world.
I don't think anyone was. Truth be told.
No, few were. Just say softly, like rubbing one of her fingers along her wrist. Especially my niece.
Yeah.
I think I'll always love him for that.
Taking care of her?
For not minding how she looked afterwards.
Yeah.
And of course, taking care of me.
Did she say taking care of me?
Mm-hmm.
She'll kind of flick a glance up. You?
Of course. Rides always did come to check on me.
She finally kind of, tips over, puts her cheek in her hand, one elbow planted on the top of the table. I hear Felix is doing his best to be a worthy substitute.
My nephew tries. Likes to come over and tell me how much I should listen to him and take his advice.
How's that go?
Not very well.
He's grinning.
Part of me thought that he had sent
I think he
tactic.
freaked out.
Part of me thought he'd send you here as some sort of tactic.
Let me check the thing real fast. Just to make sure I'm using the right terms. Well, Honored Raya, you can at least know that I sent myself.
I'm glad.
I guess worst comes to worst. She kind of picks up the glass, gives it a little, cheers to you. Like the tiny tip, and again, takes a very light sip out of it. She loves company, right?
I guess so.
Seemed legit at the time. Right until it came out of my mouth. About that point, I questioned it, but, fuck it. We've all got shit going on. And I know there's still plenty of people left in your head that know what's going on better than I do, but still. Thought I'd check.
You were so concerned for my well-being.
I was reasonably concerned. Well, firm nod. Like, yeah.
Is it because I'm your den mother?
I mean, you're the closest thing to a mom I've got on Sept. So, I mean, if I'm going to annoy anyone, it has to be you.
I always hated being the mom.
Did you, though?
In ways, I wish I thought I was always the more cooler older sister.
Did you settle for cool aunt?
Aunt is acceptable.
We could go with cool aunt. You've got the badass kind of slumped over smoking vibe going.
Aunt will do fine. She'll smile.
Besides, you can deny it all you want, but I know you liked me.
I
Quirky
know I
grin.
what?
Yeah,
I know I what?
You liked me. I'm being a dork. I'm just saying.
I see.
You keep clicking out a little bit.
Hang on. You should just say, I see.
There's the firm nod. Like you can deny it, but I know the truth. Little nod.
Have you taken any more weight into jumping ahead on your own?
Trying.
What's stopping you?
I think I kind of put myself in a corner out of caution. And it was a nice, safe corner and all, but I'm starting to kind of reach out of it again.
And what corner is that?
I may not have spoken to a single member. Carves his pack in ages.
I see. You chose the moral high ground. Smirk at her.
What? What's wrong with the moral
Nothing.
high ground?
Nothing. It's just if you're doing what I think you're trying to do, sometimes it can get in the way.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. It kind of defeats the whole purpose if I pull a bunch of really nasty shit, doesn't it?
You're not wrong.
And Sky Ripper should be doing at least a little better now. I'm not sure what else.
He is. And I hear the tale singer saying fine tales about my nephew.
Yeah. She finally busts out a more she's relaxing enough to kind of bust out a grin like, yeah. Are they good?
From what I'm hearing.
I haven't heard his version yet.
So no ambitions then to lead your group?
I don't know. If I have to. I mean, as much as the stuff that she does can set us back sometimes, or all of us kind of wrestling with something, and at least at the moment, she seems to be pretty willing to just kind of step aside and let me and Brad do what we do. Do what we do well.
Is that an alpha in your mind?
It depends. Because the way I think of it, an alpha manages their people. And if an alpha knows that one of their people is better at something than they are, they step aside and let the person do what they're good at.
But is she doing that, or is she stepping aside because she doesn't know what she's doing? That's the question you have to ask yourself.
Suppose so. It's a question I'll probably actually ask her.
And if she's stepping aside in public, what are people saying about her as an alpha and you as a pack?
That part I've thought about.
Good. I'm glad to see you're not being foolish.
I can't keep climbing if I've got someone holding me down by the ankle.
You have a point. But what do you do with the person that's holding you down at the ankle?
I mean, in an ideal world, I pull them the fuck up so they get a grip on their own and we can both climb.
But in the idea, this is not an ideal world we live in.
It's not.
So the difference is, do you cut off the hand, take your own leg away, help up, or adjust how they're gripping onto you?
In the real world, probably just gonna have to adjust. I'm not in the process of leaving people behind or hacking off limbs. Crippling myself doesn't help anyone. Crippling her just ensures she fails. So, if it can't be ideal, then it'll be as close as I get. And it means adjusting.
And what adjustments have you got in mind? Or have you thought that far ahead yet?
Right now, Brad and I are talking. And hopefully, maybe with the help, she can pull herself up and we can climb together. But if she can't, I'll do what I need to do. I've invested too much. Not just, I'm not talking like money. I don't want to seem like I'm talking about this objectively, but I've taken the time to get to know a lot of people. And we see eye to eye, or at least, even if they're above me, we understand each other. And we can nod and work together. But if I start not being able to work with people, if I start getting cut off because there's bad blood, I'm going to have to do something about it, or none of us will be able to move forward. We need to be reliable.
This Brad, brand new, seems quite ambitious and eager in making friends.
Yeah.
Do you trust him?
I'd trust him more if I was in his head.
Aren't you?
No. Not since we lost Leaf.
Oh, I see. And you've accepted him like that.
I may not know everything he's thinking, but I can see what he's doing. I don't know how much Juno sat and talked about it, but I thought about it.
I have heard that he likes to spend his time with Marcel.
Yeah. I've seen it. Went to dinner with Carves and everything.
I know.
I know.
I don't trust Jadelgaia personally.
Why not?
They're all very devious.
Kind of squids.
Think about it. Even Cassie. It's all devious in their own way. Peace and love and all that, but it's their peace, their rules, their way.
Well, I'm paying attention.
Oh, you don't have to listen to me. I'm just being an old ragabash.
So, a more experienced Dragabash who probably knows what the fuck she's talking about.
Just shrug. Some people value the child of Gaia and their teachings. I value Junkyard Dog, who is a stable den father, yes. Doesn't mean I trust him.
Really?
Why would I?
I mean, if you're leaving cubs in his care at any particular time, I would hope you have at least some trust in him.
Oh, I trust him enough to take care of the cubs and provide excellent service to make them warriors of Gaia. That's a no-brainer. But I don't trust him to take hold of my secrets. Because he'll turn them into his way of dealing with them. So now it will no longer be my secrets. It'll be, here's how I helped you fix your secret.
Oh shit, speaking of secrets. Have Have you guys... Has Market Thorns come back and checked around? Did you guys get the heads up on that?
Checked around what?
And she just pulls out her phone, spends a willpower and cries because she needed that willpower. And yeah, she's just gonna make whatever. If you want me to make the usual roll, like do kind of a scan of the electronics in the house, since now she can connect into them whether they want her to or not.
I see. Why would Carve the Path be interested in spying on an Adrian? And the potential of getting caught.
There's not a lot of people who can find these kind of bugs on set. And considering it was someone higher up that warned me in the first place.
Besides, I'm not the one directly provoking him.
No, but everyone has noticed that I'm spending an awful lot of time with Felix, and he lives with you.
I'm also not the one who's in a pack with one of the most fervent oppositional figures to him.
No. But you are in a pack with someone who's called out a member of his.
Mm-hmm. And no business here is discussed in my house. No pack business. See, we like to talk about our pack business where Carves has no real power.
Man, I'd go for a place like that.
And your little computers don't matter.
It's easy to go to a place where there aren't computers. It's not easy to get a place properly secure when we don't have a Theurge.
That's why we have one.
Yeah, well...
She's also the keeper of the land.
Okay, fine. You got me there. And since I did say I was spending it, do you want me to roll for a scan?
If you want to scan it, you totally can. Not gonna stop you.
She's trying to be mindful for the people she gives a shit about, so... Ew. Yeah, okay. That is my pool. And yeah, that is her, like, picking through everything that's electronically potentially connected in that house. Paying particular mind to Felix's room.
Yes.
Did you pick anything up?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Felix's room. Lena's room.
Son of a bitch. I mean, could she assess, like, what are they? What are they in?
You see two things. One in Felix's room is what looks to be in the radio. It's almost something's there to watch it. And in Lena's room, it is in the telephone.
Well, he's got your phone bugged. I mean...
Oh, that's not him.
What?
That's the Wormfoe.
Blink. Come again?
Oh, the Wormfoe and I have had a discussion already. To wink. The Wormfoe's a glasswalker.
Fair. And the one in the radio?
I asked him to put it there.
Oh,
The one on the phone is to see if Carves the Path actually tries to hack into my house with your computer bot. The one in the radio, he said, provides a video feed in case it was after Freya's marking.
there's.
I was nervous about leaving Felix and her alone in her home and my home.
Oh. Just delicately turns off the phone. Man, what nice vodka this is all of a sudden.
Next time, trust my judgment, Charlotte. I've been around a lot longer than you have.
It's not that I don't trust your judgment. It's that I trust Carves about as far as I could throw him, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't factor in the Wormfoe at all.
Pets her head.
And after she's taken another, like, a proper little swig this time, she's been delicately sipping the whole time, so, like, she might be a little warm, but, like, hasn't even had enough to catch a real buzz. But she takes a proper swig and is like, the video feed would have been nice to know about, though.
I bet it would have.
Yep.
Don't worry about it. Like I said, my nephew seems to have taken a shine to you.
Mm-hmm.
Looks at her like, yeah, that's right.
It's
I
that
don't-
whole, yeah, my cheeks are totally right because I'm upending. Was this like a full size glass or the little, like, scotch glass?
Full size.
Oh, God. Yeah, then she's not fucking emptying it because that is a lot more than I thought it was. No, but she... Yep, there's another hefty kind of swig of it, like a proper fucking drink. And it's like, yeah, my cheeks are totally red because of this vodka and not because I'm embarrassed as hell.
Very intimate. Then they'll say, staring.
Hmm?
Very intimate.
Mm-hmm.
I take it this is you. I take it we'll keep this between us.
That would be fantastic if that could stay between us and, I guess, the Wormfoe. Kind of looking at her glass like, this is my life. There's an old man Wormfoe that has seen my titties.
The Wormfoe has no interest in that. In fact, he was more bemused than anything when he showed me.
Awesome.
He respectfully logged off the screen.
I appreciate him so much more deeply now than I ever have before.
At least you weren't, she just pats her hat. At least you didn't do it in my room.
Oh, God.
Then I would have had to break your jaw.
No, that's not how I roll. So, no. No.
But you
Besides,
did-
the only reason we were in the room is because that's where he
That-
felt safe. Why would we have...
That lifts her fingers up.
Like,
Gee. You did do it in my house.
to be fair, we didn't do... We just kissed. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't do it anywhere, in fact. I'll have you know.
Good. Then I don't have to break your hand.
I might point out that that's markedly unfair, considering this is where he lives.
My house.
Ugh. So you've got the mom house rules and everything?
Oh, no. It's just that you didn't ask my permission.
She just kind of looks at her like, what?
My house, my territory.
Which part did I need permission to do in your territory? I want to know where this line is. I feel like this is a very fuzzy line.
The line is, if you're going to rut in my home with my nephew, you need to make sure that I'm aware that that is the situation between you and him.
Okay, well, I did not enter with that intention, so...
But it happened, and you two are continuously seeing each other.
It hasn't happened yet. I like my hand.
Like I said, if you're planning to be with my nephew and planning to rut here,
I don't rut. Okay, that is just weird.
just takes a drag of a cigarette. Like I said, I'm a very simple woman.
I will find somewhere else. That is just... I don't think I can come to terms with asking you if it's cool to fuck somebody in your house.
If always so crass, you young ones.
What? You said rut. That is gross. At least fuck is a word that everyone uses. Like, it's a very
Like I
malleable
said,
word.
You're coming over here to be with my nephew. And you're coming over here in my territory. I have no problem with you and him. Just shrug. As long as you're polite and ask to stay over or ask to be here. I may be getting down with you all, but I am still old-fashioned.
Am I clear to be on your territory if he asks me into it?
Of course.
Okay.
That is all. You see, Felix is Felix, but I am the matriarch of this family.
Yep. Well, then may I have your permission to come onto your territory when he reaches out to me and asks me to come here?
You may. You see how much simpler that was?
Yep.
Pets her on the head.
She's just kind of shaking her head like, what is life? Not
It's
in
an
an
old-
angry way, just kind of the little head shake of like, why is this the world?
She stands up. You should have seen it when I first introduced my mate to my father.
Oh?
He made him run a gauntlet.
Oh, Jesus.
And I was only kinfolk at the time.
So... God, that's like double weird territory claim. Oh, God.
Takes a drag and she keeps walking.
Yeah, it's that realization that, like, you know, if I wanted to be perfectly kosher, I'd be like, hey, Juno, boinking your kinfolk, but there's been a stall up there. Just kind of a scrunchy face of like, ugh. But yeah, she'll go ahead, and especially with Juno getting up to wander off,
Juno.
God damn it, Lena. Getting up to wander off. We'll be getting up and trying to decide at what speed she can realistically tackle the remaining glass of vodka, because she is not going to leave it to go to waste.
She look over her shoulder. I'm assuming you two are doing this here so Juno doesn't have a tizzy.
I mean, honestly, you're here because here's where he felt safe.
Good. Then you definitely have my permission. Then she holds the door open for you, like signaling, like, I am doing stuff now. I need you to leave.
She is bundled out with a glass still half full of vodka. Like, I'll just bring this back later. Ugh.
He's down by the river if you want to see him.
Okay.
Now I'm going to go take a bath. And she kind of just slams the door. She's walking upstairs.
Ugh. Door slam. Ugh. There is just kind of the bemused, like, and I'm going, like, yep, going this way, me and this vodka. Best
Would you like
friends.
Would you like to end the scene there, Kitty?
Yes. Yes, I would.